Do you remember at the end of last episode when I said that I was A, going to do 3 months of games off camera, and B, that it was probably going to be quite an easy January transfer window? Well, one of those two things turned out to be a big fat lie. Hey guys, my name is Jochen aka Leyodemus and welcome to part 14 of Stuttgart über alles. In this FM21 series, I try and transform VfB Stuttgart from a newly promoted Bundesliga club into a European giant. If you are enjoying this series so far, feel free to show me some support by liking the video and by subscribing to my channel. Whack on that notification button so we can keep doing this thing together. Since you were last here, which was the Eintracht Frankfurt game in the second round of the Cup, we have played, actually, as I stated, 3 months of games off camera. Now, I'm not gonna go over all of these results, let's just pick a few that are worth mentioning. First of all, we absolutely dominated our Euro Cup 2 group stage. Let's go to that competition. As you can see, we have won all our games. We have scored 20 times and conceded 5, which is insanely good, especially since we had Monaco in our group. But also the home game we played against Monaco, we have won, I think, 2-1. Let me go to that game. Yes, let's go to the match stats. Match stats bars. As you can see, we actually totally dominated that game. 66% possession, XG score, 2.01 versus 0.30. Look at every single stat. Basically, we absolutely dominated that game. It was a joy to behold. Look at the match ratings. Sandro Tonali, a 8.7, probably because he gave the assists, but I'm not sure. Either way, in about 5 minutes, we totally hammered them. Matias Arezzo and Gonzalez both scored a goal. So far for that competition, in the league we have had some ups and downs, the biggest down being the 3-0 loss in FC Köln, because Köln is a team of about our stature. They are around the same position in the league, as we will see in a minute, but we couldn't make anything happen. It was quite an even game as far as match stats go, but we simply couldn't make it happen, man. It was one of those days. We both had 7 shots on target. They scored 3, we scored 0. So a game to forget. But especially near the end of that off-camera period, we were on fire, man. And I know that we have lost in Augsburg and in Bayern Leverkusen, but only 1-0, and those were quite good games, to be honest. We didn't get overrun or whatever. But the in-betweeny games of those losses, wow, we have butchered Hoffenheim at home with 4-2. If you look at these match stats, pretty deserved, I would say. And then we also, the biggest win of the season, possibly of the whole save so far, 5-1 in Wolfsburg, and this was for the Cup. So we did win the 3rd round game in the Cup. We are proceeding to the quarterfinal, but look at this, man. We have totally butchered them. We have been using our new tactics. There is still some tweaking to do, but I think we are well on our way, especially if we look at next season. We are still in a transitional phase, let me put it out there. But we did use this tactic in both of those games, actually, the 4-2 and the 5-1, and that was the result. So as a surprise for you guys, today we are going to play Schalke at the Mercedes-Benz Arena at home, and we will be using that new tactic. And it could turn out to be quite the important game against Schalke, because if we look at the league table, we are currently in 8th position with 31 points. Look at the goal difference, by the way, compared to the teams that are like in our near vicinity. And Schalke has just 1 point and 1 position above us. So this is an important game if we keep an eye out for European qualification spots, this is it, man. Apart from us and Schalke, Dortmund is right up there on top with Bayern and Leipzig. Everyone has played 20 games, and I think the top 3 are starting to segregate themselves from the rest of the pack. If we look at the player list, Nicolas Gonzalez is doing awesome this season. He has 15 goals that gets him into second position in the top scorer list. Only Sorloth from Leipzig is doing better with 17. He is also second in the player of match list with 4. And Mr. Sandro Tonali himself, my man Italian stallion Sandro, is king of the assist list. He is the assist king of the Bundesliga as we speak, with 10 freaking assists in 20 games. Now, by now you have seen that I did in fact play 3 months off camera, so now you also know what the big fat lie was. The very calm January transfer window was not as calm as I expected, man. Damn. Now, since Nicolas Gonzalez is nailing it this season, he of course drew some attention. There were a couple of teams in the Bundesliga who tried to sign him. The offers were coming in January. I've managed to keep them all out of here. I think it was Hoffenheim, Leipzig even. I'm not sure, a couple of other teams. He is no longer wanted, which is awesome. He is also not mad because I simply rejected the offers. He has a minimum fee release clause of contract info, 40 million for clubs in the Champions League. So I would be an absolute moron to let him go for less than 40 million pounds, right? All the offers that came in, I think the highest one was 27 million or something. So it was quite the no-brainer to simply reject it. Now, the only player who is a little mad with me since the transfer window is Mr. Pascal Stanzel himself. Now, he is wanted by Bayer Leverkusen. They made an offer for him in the very last, half hour of the transfer window. I could immediately see that Stanzel would be disappointed and angry if he wasn't allowed to talk to Bayer Leverkusen. So I accepted the offer, but simply the time ran out and the transfer was cancelled, which is none of my fault. They should have done the offer a lot sooner. But still, Stanzel was angry with me. He said that I was blocking transfers and whatnot. Kind of diva-ish, if you ask me. So yeah, he is transfer listed by request. Like I said, I don't really want to sell him, but I also don't want that kind of diva BS in my team. So to be clear, he is still at the club until next summer, but then he will probably be leaving us. Now, doesn't really matter that much. It's not that he is actually mad at me, because he is glad now that I let him be transfer listed. So, we can use his abilities until the end of the season, which is fine, I guess. And now, of course, the fun part. I brought in 6 guys. 3 of them I already showed you. This guy I showed you a long time ago because he only now joined the club, but I signed him like a year ago. Alexandru Nyaksu. Now, this is the guy where I was totally blinded by the 18 technique stat attribute that he had. Because he's only 16, that is ridiculously high. And I didn't really pay attention. I should have, let that be very clear, because he has an unambitious personality and he has a determination attribute of 2, which is almost the lowest I have ever seen, and I'm not even exaggerating. So I am not sure if this is in fact a good signing. I did only pay not even 700,000 pounds for him, so it's not a disaster. But we'll see. I did show you Sobol and Burak Ince in the last episode. If you didn't see it, go back and watch it. Those are 2 very decent players, one of which is a left winger, and Burak Ince is probably one of our number 10s for the future. Now, besides those 3 guys, I brought in 3 more, because why the hell not, right? I literally don't have a good reason. The only maybe reason that I have is since we are playing the new tactic more and more, which is using wingers, I am not really overstaffed probably in that position. So that is why, for example, I brought in this guy, Eduardo Salvo, coming in from Boca Juniors in Argentina for almost £1 million. Bam! He's 31 years old, which is old, I know, but he has a high determination. He has a resolute personality, which is extremely good for mentoring. And that is exactly what I'm planning to do with this guy. So I will have him mentoring some younger players, preferably, but not necessarily in that same position. But he's also a pretty decent player, man. I did sign him on a 2-year contract, so he will be here until June 2023. And I mean, look at this. Determination, like I said, but his mentals in general are really good. His acceleration is still 15 for an old geezer, says the 38-year-old of 31. So yeah, I think he's a player that we can very much use at the right winger position. Second guy coming in, a defensive midfielder, Steven Ustakio. Not the easiest name, but hey, he is Canadian, he is capped. He's 25 years old. I signed him under an important player contract because I actually think he is quite an asset, man. Damn. Look at this. In the DM role, he can play as a deep-lying playmaker. Pretty much, he can play every role there. But also, and maybe more importantly, he can play as a deep-lying playmaker and a Mazala, which are normally the 2 roles that I use in that new tactic. So this guy paired up with Sandro Tonali, we have one hell of a midfield. He has a spirited personality, he has 13 determination, work rate is okay, teamwork is okay, natural fitness 16, awesome sauce, passing, vision, technique, you name it. Like I said, a pretty decent guy. Player traits also good, comes deep to get the ball, plays 1-2s and dictates the tempo, which is nice if he is a playmaker. And then the last guy coming in this January transfer window from Liverpool for 675k, Rhys Williams. I think most of you who play Football Manager know him. He was transfer listed, so I just simply think for that amount of money, this was a no-brainer. He is a tall dude, 6'4". Wow. Learn to read numbers, Jochen. 6'4", 2-star current ability, a 4.5-star potential ability. Like I said, he's only 21 years old, so I would expect it to pay a lot more for him. But hey, ball-playing defender, central defender, you name it. His mentals are pretty decent for a 21-year-old, and his physicals are really good. I signed him under a breakthrough prospect contract for only 22.5k a month, which is literally nothing. I think he might turn out to be one of our key defenders in the future, man. Now, the last little thing about transfers, we do have a couple of players. Let me highlight them for you. Bam. Well, this guy is on loan, so it's quite normal that his contract runs out in the summer. But these 3 guys, Jack Wilshere, Endo and Kempf, their contracts are going to run out at the end of June. And I'm not going to renew them. I mean, the wages are going to be too high for Wilshere and Kempf, and they're not going to be regular starters anymore. Also, Jack Wilshere, I mean, I kind of love him as a player, but he is way too injury prone, but we knew that, I know, stating the obvious here, but that is why I'm not renewing his contract. And Wataru Endo, basically the same story. He will want a higher wage if I re-sign him, and it just doesn't justify it, man. I mean, we have better players by now at all those positions. So I am going to let these guys go in the summer. So here we are for the important home game against Schalke 04. Let's go to our tactics, because this, my friends, is our new tactic. Well, I'm not using it in all games, but the games where I have used it in, went pretty well for the most part. There were some bumps in the road, as I mentioned, but I'm still doing some tweaking after pretty much every game that I have used it, so I'm not going to go into too much detail right now. I'm hoping to finish this tactic by the end of the season, so I can show you everything in as many details as you want at the start of next season. But let's go over it quickly, shall we? We have an attacking fullback in Borna Sosa. This combined with Gonzalez in a supporting winger duty and Sandro Tonali as a roaming playmaker kind of forms this pocket of players, if you want, and these three are doing some major damage on the left side of the pitch. On the other side of the pitch, there we have a supporting wingback, in this case Stanzel, but normally it is Henrichs, combined with a mezzala, Ustakio, and a mezzala basically means he is going to do this when we have the ball. He is going forward and he's going a little bit to the outside of the pitch. I do have him on support and not on attack, because if I had him on attack, he would pretty much end up here. And that is exactly the position where this guy ends up now. So we have Wamangituka in this case on the inside forward role on the right side of the right winger position, if you will. He will end up here. He will basically act as an extra striker when we have the ball. While he is there, Esticao is going somewhere here. And we have Stanzel coming up here. So also on the right side of the pitch, we kind of have this pocket of players, but it focuses on the maybe even the final third, or at least the top half of the pitch. And I've also seen some good things there, man. So Wamangituka, or whoever is playing on the inside forward role, is scoring a lot of goals, as is the left winger. So far, fingers crossed, but it seems to be working. In the center of defense, we have two ball-playing defenders, one of which is on a covering role, because of course we don't have a libero like we have in the counter-attack system. And we also have in front of them a halfback on a purely defensive duty. This is something I am still not sure of, because I could maybe change this to or an anchorman or simply a ball-winning midfielder on a defend role, because that he will go somewhat more in the direction of the two midfielders. I'm not sure. For now, I am going to leave it on halfback, especially against Schalke, but we'll see about that later. In midfield, as I kind of mentioned, we have a roaming playmaker and a mezzala, both on a supporting duty. And this is working out awesome, man. I'm telling you, Tonali is giving assists, he's scoring goals. Ustakio is, he's been here for like 2 weeks, but he has played very well, as has Kovalenko, who normally played there. So it really seems to fit those guys, the mezzala role. Last guy on the pitch, of course, our lone striker. In this case, I am playing him as an advanced forward or a poacher, because I simply want that guy to be there to score the goals. Everyone else is doing the preparation. He just has to bang in the goals. Now, as I kind of mentioned, we do have some injuries. Anton is still coming back out of injury, as is Thibaut Persin, and I do actually want him on the bench because my starting right wing back Henrichs is injured, so I am going to do this. But yeah, Persin, Anton are still coming back out of injury. Henrichs is still injured, but he is starting to crawl back to normal fitness level. And Burak Ince, as I told you, is out for 3 months. Also Didavi, out for another month. Now the only change I am going to make here is that I am going to put Wamangituka on the bench for Renier, because Wamangituka can pretty much play in every position on the right wing, including right fullback or right wing back. So if crap hits the fan, I might need him in one of these positions. I am not sure, so I want to keep him fit by all means. So I'm playing Renier on the inside forward on the right. Apart from him, the team to hopefully do some damage against Schalke 04 is this. Blanco in goal, Sosa, Chabot, Amadozis and Stanzel as our back four. Mongala, Tonali and Ustakio as our midfield triangle, Gonzalez on the left wing, Renier as an inside forward on the right, and lone striker, Mr. Arezzo. We do have a couple of players who are concerned with the formation, but I think we'll be okay. Probably since I am doing some tweaking, as I mentioned, after pretty much each game. I guess it is just that. Fingers crossed. Let's go to match and let's see what the Schalke team looks like. Here we go. They of course have Cabral, who is a pretty decent striker. Junior Firpo, he's a left wing back, I think. Nastasic. But to be fair, not really high-end names, if I can say that. I don't mean it disrespectful, Schalke, but it's simply the way I see it. Dressing room, and absolutely pump fists. What? And I can't choose that? Ooh, we do have a revenge option. We owe Schalke 04 after what happened in our last match. Go out there and get some freaking revenge. Tunnel interview. Vincenzo Grifo, who the hell is he? Has proven himself to be an incisive passer in the Bundesliga. Do you have a plan to stop him? He's a fine player, but I have fine players too. I'm confident in their ability. There has been a lot of speculation surrounding the future of Jan Moritz Lichte. Who is that, man? Oh, it's the Mainz manager? Oh, what are your thoughts on the matter? I have no idea, Pierre. Come on. I don't feel it's my place to comment on those rumors. Here we go, Mercedes-Benz Arena. Rock and roll, baby. So as I mentioned, this could turn out to be a pretty important game. So let's focus, shall we? Sosa with the ball, first highlight. Mongala now, come on. To Sandro Tonali. Let's pause game for a minute just because I want you to see how far up Borna Sosa is. He is our fullback. Should the screen or the view turn to the other side of the pitch, you will see that Stanzel will be a bit more to the back. Pause game. There he is. So now of course he's doing the overlap because the pass is there, but he was around this area. So that is maybe, if you don't know the difference between an attacking fullback and a supporting wingback, you have just seen it. Continue. Stanzel with the ball. Cross it, my man. Cross it. Okay, back to Mongala. Tonali. Ooh, Gonzalez. Wow, misses the target. Highlight for Schalke. McKennie with the cross, and the keeper Blanco punches it away. But still, Schalke has possession. Come on, guys. Marking. Tighter marking, please. Thank you. Come on, Arezzo. Counter-attack time. To Stanzel, to Renier. Ustakio. And as you saw, he is our mezzala, so he came to the outside of the pitch. Stanzel now. There he is again. Ustakio, he is basically an MC. But as a mezzala, he is there and he gives the assist to Renier, who is the inside forward, and by that point had made his way to the striker position. And this is the result. Let's see that again. Stanzel with the ball to Ustakio, and by this time Renier is right here. And he gets the ball from Ustakio and he does not hesitate. We are 1-0 up. It's his 7th goal of the season. I am going to praise him because this is a really important game as far as I'm concerned. So I do want them to be somewhat motivated / happy / whatever it takes to win. But no more highlights, so it seems. It's quite an even game. Okay, they have one shot on target. New highlight just before halftime. Schubert gets it out of the air. This would have been an ideal time to go 2-0 up. But alas, now Junior Firpo to Grifo, who has a lot of room. Come on, man. Do not give him that much space because they will score. I can promise you that. Junior with the ball, back to Nastasic. Come on, Stanzel. Ooh, no deep ball, but to no one really. Oh, come on, not an assist by the goalkeeper. Thank you. Boof, and that is exactly why we need that covering, one of our central defenders on a covering role. Okay, halftime, we are 1-0 up. We are doing okay. It's an even game, although we have more shots on target. Dressing room, pump fists, and let's say the media have given you a lot of credit lately, so go out there and put on a worthy display. I think nobody's going to care. What? Motivation? Yes, please. 55 minutes in and no highlight in the second half yet. Let's keep an eye out for fitness levels. And I think I am going to do some substitutions right now. 70-minute mark, no highlights, so why not? Let's see. Gonzalez is not having his best game, as is Arezzo. But he is still more fit, so I'm going to take Gonzalez off for new guy, Eduard Sobol, on the left wing. And I'm also going to play safe and get Ustakio off for Kovalenko. Also a 3.5 star rating in the Mazzala role, Kovalenko, so no biggie there. We have an awesome midfield, man. It's as simple as that. Confirm subs, play ball. Let's also praise him again. No, let's first have a look at this corner. Oh God, who misses the target? Luckily, now let's praise him. Bam. 75-minute mark. We are the better team. I think I can say that. What? Stanzel injured. Oh, sweet God. You know what? Let's go to defensive and let's do a substitution. Persin coming on for Stanzel. 5 minutes left plus extra time. Did we see? Oh, we saw one highlight in the second half, which was the corner, and another corner for us, Tonali. Renier himself, and I'm not sure if he is that good of a header, but who gives a flying bleep? Because he has scored his 8th goal of the season. Assist from Tonali. He was wide open. Do not do that when you face a Brazilian player, man. For the love of God. But we have won a very important game, guys. Can I say we were the better team? Probably not, though. We were more efficient, that's for sure. We had 8 shots on target, they had 4, so okay. They had more XG and higher XG score than we had. More possession, although it's quite even. But once again, Renier and Tonali, I mean, we have some decent players at Stuttgart at this point in time. Dressing room, a more than deserved outstretched arms and say, well done lads, that was a good win, inspired and motivated. Please give me an interview with a decent question now, or not. Let's see what the fans have as reactions. Great result, can't believe how good we were, more of the same next match please. Do not mind if I try, Matthias. Take a bow, Renier. Damn right, you'll do well to see better than Renier. I totally agree. And there we go. I've seen Renier have better games. That's how silly all of this is. Good on you, Luca. Continue. If we have a look at the schedule, we will be back in March and probably for this game, the second leg of the second knockout round in the Euro Cup 2. I have no idea who my opponent is going to be, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we've already ticked the board requirement for that competition, but of course, we want to get as far as we can, right? The main reason why I think we'll be back then is because I want to wait for my youth intake, which is taking place somewhere in March. I think last year it was around this date, the 12th or the 15th of March, I'm not sure. So I really hope that by the time this game is played, that we have had the youth intake, and I really want to show you that in the next episode. So guys, that was it for this video. If you have any questions or remarks regarding that new tactic, please do not hesitate. Let me know down in the comment section. That is what it's for. I really hope you have enjoyed the episode. I know I did. If you have, please leave me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Whack on the notification button so we can keep doing this adventure together. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.